Hey guys, Mamie here today, and we are going to be using the August card kit by Simon Says Stamp. And the August card kit comes with this great little stamp set, and it's called Seeing Stars. And it comes with these resist pages as well, in craft and in white cardstock. And I'm going to be using the ones in the white cardstock. And I'm going to trim that down. And we're going to be doing ink blending today, and so I'm going to use the inks that came in the kit, which were the Chip Sapphire and the Festive Berries. And you know how to do the ink blending, or you can just follow along with that. It's not difficult at all, just really putting the ink down just to give some color to the paper and to let the resist be able to come through so you can see it. So I did several cards with the card kit, and I only made a video over this card. But at the end of the video, you will see the other cards that I created. And I tried to make sure that I used only the supplies in the card kit. I think there was like some washi tape, and then there's some vellum that I used, and maybe a couple of sequins, but mostly I used only what was in the kit as far as dyes and things like that go. So if you wanted to recreate it, you wouldn't have to have all these different elements. And so I'm just darkening up the sides around the outside of the card here. And I'm going to be cutting down some vellum to add a strip of it to the paper, to the card front. And if I was smart, I would have not cut it down right here. I would have left it long so I could have wrapped it around the back of the card. But, you know, I don't pre-plan any of my cards, and sometimes you just don't think about that, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't cross your mind until after the fact. I mean, I do it all the time where I wrap it around the back, but some days you just, I don't know, every card is different, and if you're not in the routine of it for the day, then you can just totally skip something that is common sense, basically. So I'm going to have to use some glossy accents to put that vellum down. But for all of you that are working with vellum, I always recommend to keep it longer and wrap it around the back of your card front, and that way you don't have to put glue behind your vellum, because it's not really you can still see the glue no matter what you do. So here I am using my Versamark ink, and I'm using the constellations that come in the stamp set, and I'm just stamping all over this little panel, just filling it with all the constellations and all of the little stars, etc. And this part was really fun. I love getting to use a bunch of stamping. And Versamark is just a clear sticky ink, and so that you can put embossing powder on top so that it will stay in place long enough for you to heat that embossing powder. And when you heat the embossing powder, it turns into like a raised, shiny, I don't even know what to call it, ink effect. I think all stampers love embossing powder, and I'm no different. So here I am putting down the gold embossing powder, and this is just from Recollections. I don't have any fancy embossing powders, because these have worked just fine. So maybe down the road I'll get some fancier embossing powders, and I'll let you know. They probably are a lot better, but you know, I try to keep it inexpensive as I can, and try to use my hobby store as much as possible, because I do coupon all the time. I don't go into the hobby store without a coupon, that's for sure, because this is an expensive hobby. So here I'm just heating up the embossing powder. And the embossing powder heats up very quickly on paper, on vellum paper, but it also kind of warps the paper a little bit, so you want to keep it moving, keep your heating tool moving around. So here I'm just trying to figure out the placement, and I think this is when I realized, uh-oh, you should have made it longer so that you could go around the card front, but I really wanted it in this orientation, so I just said, oh well, I'll just use glue. And I'm so excited I was able to get this voiceover done before the end of August, because this is the August card kit. And I was telling myself, you have got to get this card done, not this series, but these cards put out before August is over. Or what's the point of using the August card kit in September? So I'm just so glad that I was able to meet my deadline here. And so here I'm just using a couple of the sentiments that come in the set, and it just says, when we're together, I see stars. I'm just lining that up. And I'm going to be heat embossing this sentiment as well in the gold. Yeah, so it's been crazy. My little boy started kindergarten this week, and getting ready for the week of school and all that just was setting me behind. And so he's in school now, no tears, everything is great. He's loving it. He's just having an awesome time. And so things are going really well. So it's all good. And now I can do a little bit more card making and making some more videos, etc. Now that I have a couple of hours during the day. So I'm just going to trim this down a little bit, because I'm going to put a border around the outside. So I got another piece of cardstock there, and I'm going to use a technique that I like to use to kind of outline a border. And so I just tap the sides into the Versamark ink pad, and I'm going to sprinkle the same gold embossing powder, and it will leave a nice little gold border, which helps kind of tie in the sentiment strip with the rest of the card. And everybody always has like a cat or whatever walking across in front of their video when they're making cards, which is so cute. I don't have a cat, but did you see that ant? So I had a pet ant today that was helping me out. We've had so much rain the last couple of days, last couple of weeks really, and so I've had a couple of little ants try to find their way in the house. And I think they're just like little tiny sugar ants, or I don't know what they're called, but I just don't want to kill them because they're not going to hurt anything, so I just let them walk around. And so now I'm just going to glue this into place. And I'm not using my glossy accents for any reason in particular. It just happened to be beside me. And I wish that I would reach for something else, because then I use up all my glossy accents whenever I need it for actually using it for its purpose. So, but I did get some more adhesive from the craft store, so I I won't be reaching for my glossy accents for a couple of weeks at least. And so here is a little solid stamp that it comes in the kit, so that I can cover the whole thing in the embossing powder, and the whole star will be gold. So I'm just putting that in the corner there. I'm going to cover that in the same embossing powder. I'm just using my card base there. Can y'all tell what a lazy crafter I am? It's not really that I'm lazy. I just don't prepare. Well, okay, I am lazy, yeah. I don't prepare. I don't have anything ready. I don't plan any of my cards. They are just all, I sit down and I turn the camera on and I start making a card. And because I don't have time for all the planning and everything. So like if the card comes out absolutely horrible, then I probably wouldn't post the video. But you know what, they're all good enough, and so I just post the videos, even the ones I'm not that super proud of, because that's just the way it is. Somebody might take something away from one of the videos, you know, and some kind of technique, and they might like the card. So, you know, I've had cards that I don't like that other people like that I've made, so you never know. So I just put them on there regardless. And so that's basically the card. And so stay tuned at the end here so that you can see the still shots of the other cards that I made as well. And you can also visit my website at onejoyousskip.com and like and subscribe. Have a great day, guys. See you next time.